So my voice is audible to online audience? Okay, once again, welcome to this important session, how we are transforming the agriculture with the drone application technology. I know everyone has a question in their mind, as the drone technology is gaining momentum, how we can stay ahead of the competitors. But definitely the agility is required, and everyone wants to know that what we are doing in different drone and digital initiatives in future. But before that, I would like to invite Dinesh, Senthil and Abhishek, please. A brief introduction, Dinesh.
Hello, very briefly. I'm part of Pro Engagement team. I've been associated with drone project for the last 3 years, and we've been telling this on various platforms that this is a story of collaboration. And right from beginning, the first day when we really see the drone, how it works, the collaboration have strengthened with every passing day. So, be it machine testing, calibration, whatever trials that are coming, to have confidence in us, we have been working very actively across the core group, and that not only includes Pro Engagement, field solutions, regulatory was part of it, public affairs was part of it, because when we started, the road was long. So no regulations, no guidelines. A lot of trials we initiated though pretty well. Earlier, Shrinath sir knows. We have tested way before the regulatory guidelines came in. So we have had our experiences, but then entire journey to bring in advocacy aspect and developing the capability on technical side, machine side, operational side. It was phenomenal, and thank you very much each and everyone who's sitting in this hall. Their contribution to build the confidence, generate all those data, and putting us today where we can proudly say that yes, we have achieved some milestone going forward. So looking forward for this interaction. Thank you very much.
Good evening all. Many colleagues would be knowing me, I am Senthil. For those who don't know me also, I am Senthil. So all these years, it was last 6 months I have this program right now my best. It's a really great learning for me. Definitely will see in current presentation a new opening up to this shakes. It is not unique to learn. Thank you. Welcome.
Hello, good evening everyone. I am Abhishek Varman. I am the founder, director and CEO of General Aeronautics. We are a startup incubated at University of Science. And my background is, I have only the first later which is common with agriculture. What I was earlier doing was aeronautics. I was in fighter aircraft design for 17 years. Transport aircraft design another 3 years. Nowhere close to agriculture. But of course, being an Indian, you can't say that you don't know what agriculture is, because somewhere or other our roots are there, and that's where it's like getting back to your home when you start working in this. So we had, just to give you a brief about General Aeronautics. started, because I was coming from the defense background, the obvious choice was defense. So first 2 years of our journey, that was 2017-18, we worked on various defense applications. But somewhere something was amiss, and most importantly, business was amiss. So we decided that that's not going to be our cup of tea, and we started looking at what alternate we could do. And I think during those days, that use of drones in agriculture was becoming, like we could start hearing about such things. And we found that there is something which perhaps we could contribute to. And to tell you frankly, that was the real startup journey we had, starting from year 2019, when we looked at agriculture as a problem statement and really tried identifying what to do there and came out with a solution. In fact, one of the first trials we did was with your team. I just saw Vinayak, right? Yeah. So I remember at ISC together we did the first trial where we were trying to see how good is the distribution and how best we could utilize this technology to get the best of the bioefficacy, etc. So some of this terminology now I am familiar. So that's been my background. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you, Senthil and Dinesh. So before start, most importantly, I would like to thank each and everyone who have contributed for the drone in-house trial and even the drone regulatory trial as well. This is really helping us to accelerate gaining the momentum with the drone technology. So this is very important slide. If you see here, what are the initiatives and way forward? But it's very important to understand why this kind of integrated technologies and smart farming is required. You know that climate change, that's going to be a major problem in future. And even the pest dynamics are evolving because of the climate change. Indiscriminate use of pesticides, labor shortage, lack of these are the major problems. So it's very important, it's not only the product concept. We have to integrate different technologies, digital pest monitoring and even drone to give a good solution and offering to the farmers. Then initiative, if you see here, in 2022, we have started most of the trial activity in rice, soybean, potato and pea. And second important is knowledge transfer activities of the drone to MD and even external outreach program which we have done. I'll explain in detail in the later slides and what are the initiatives in the drone capabilities enhancement. Then for digital initiatives, it's not only drone, there are other IoT devices as well like weather stations, then WRMS, and digital pest advisor. These are the digital pest monitoring devices. Remotely you can monitor the pest. It's not required that because live scouting for the farmer every day is very difficult. Remotely you can monitor the pest and on the basis of that advisory can be generated. Then soil sensors also we are using, weather stations. What is the way forward actually? For this year we have done testing in rice, soybean, but yes, in future we are going to scale up the capabilities in cereals, corn, pulses and horticulture crop. I know everyone has a question in their mind that we are doing the herbicide trials and what next actually. But I think collective efforts are required for that and we are going to collaborate with different functions like past team also. We are going to strengthen our advocacy efforts so that in future there can be something value proposition can be generated from these trials as well. Then one activity of MD training program we are planning in the first quarter of 2023 where we are going to invite all the MD colleagues there in Bangalore, either it may be or in Hyderabad. And external outreach program, why it will be continued? Because the government mandate is they want to catalyze the adoption of the drone technology and you can't believe that recently we have done one activity in Indian Institute of Soybean Research. The scientists were not aware about the technology. Until or unless they are not aware, they cannot adopt the technology. Then drone imaging. This is also very important as this technology will grow, agrochemical spray, then drone imaging will also grow. Because digitally how you can monitor your crop health, how you can understand the soil health, how you can digitalize the assessment part also, the different trial activities. Then for DPA, WRMS, we are going to expand the activities. Now we have started in the chili crop, but in future we have a plan for cotton and tomato. Bug counting app, that is continuing. See, now what we are doing, visually we are taking the observation. What will be the trend in future? How we can automate the assessment. Just you can click the photograph and automatically your whitefly count and your aphid count will be there in just 3 to 5 seconds. That we are testing in a pilot phase still. Just in detail the knowledge transfer activity which we have done. This is for the MP training program. You can see the video. The video. Sound. Knowledge transfer activity in collaboration with the Indian Institute of Soybean Research. You can see even different scientists, they have participated, farmers are there. In soybean, this activity has been conducted. This is again the major activity which we have done in Assam. There was a regulatory trial of in the tea crop actually, Solomon, Latigo and Oberon. It was very difficult in this difficult place where we have the shady trees. So you can see how the drone is flying and the activity was quite successful and that was done to build the confidence of DRA scientists and even smart tea growers. Without his support, it would not have been possible. So now regarding the drone capabilities and enhancement. So because you know that we have established two innovation hubs, one in Chandipa and one in Bangalore. So it's very important how we can enhance the testing in different crops. So we have procured two drones. One is Krishak drone, because both the drones are important. They have different capabilities. The Krishak drone is with the spinning nozzle drone. In future spinning nozzles, that technology is gaining momentum actually. And AgriBot drone, that is with the hydraulic nozzle drone actually. That is based at Hyderabad. So these are first two pilots. Certified pilot Priyanka, based at Bangalore, and Deepankar, Innovation Hub, Hyderabad. But in future, I know everyone is asking now that when we will get the training. Yes, we have a good plan that 11 colleagues, they have registered for this training program in the month of November. So apart from the drone technology, how we are integrating the different technologies to give a sustainable solution to the farmers. You can see here the digital pest advisor. This is still in prototype testing phase, and this is the device from the buyer. And you know that maybe I'll give information about the WRMS. We already have a tie-up with Weather Risk Management Services that we have deployed around to the 100 farmers. There are some treatment farmers and control farmers. That service is already going on in pilot phase. But digital pest advisor is we are remotely monitoring the pest in chili, because we know that thrip is a major problem. And weather stations also, soil crop sensors, when the water level is going below critical threshold level, that's giving us an indication on the mobile app. And on that basis, we are taking the informed decisions. When we have to give the irrigation, it's a judicious use of water is happening here.
This soil crop sensor is commercialized?
No, yeah, it's from actually Fasal. Yeah, it's there. Commercialized. Okay, now I would like to invite Priyanka.
Hi, good evening everyone. I'm Priyanka Tripathi, FTO based at Innovation Hub location. Thank you so much Karan for giving me this opportunity. So Karan has already set a context of why and how digital technology can transform the conventional agriculture and help the farmers, the customers to bring greater ROI. So here, as you can see, we have two digital setups, two digital pest monitoring setups, DPA and WRMS. As you can see here, there is a blue sticky trap with each box around 2 mm or 20 mm of box, which you can see around more than 50 thrips have already been trapped. We all very well know that thrip, especially the black thrip, is a very difficult and notorious pest because of the nature, how it feeds, and because of its high ability to feed on broader host range, plant host range. And in this situation, depending on digital pest monitoring systems like DPA and WRMS. DPA is the internal product, Digital Pest Advisory, whereas WRMS is a digital pest monitoring system which is by Weather Risk Management Services company, and WRMS is an already established model. As you can see here, the algorithm is already developed, whereas the DPA, which is the internal product, it is highly compact. The algorithms for which is being developed, and the main objective of DPA is basically to provide the services comparatively at nominal prices to the farmer, as compared to the competitor product that we already have in the market. And depending on our dependency on these pest monitoring devices can help us achieve a greater control over the black thrips. As you can see here on the right hand side is the WRMS, which has its blue thrips, which has the which has the trap, and it helps you to monitor the thrips from the early stages and to take greater decisions and timely decisions which can help the farmer to have a better control over the thrip. When you speak about the DPA, it is still in planning phase. It's a very early phase, as you can see, and the algorithm are being developed day by day. And that's all from my side. Thank you. So, as you can see here, DPA is both DPA and WRMS comes with interface, that is a platform where you can monitor the readings on the daily basis. So this Magic Scout is associated with DPA. DPA, you can call it as Magic Trap, which is connected with Magic Scout. This you can access either on the website or on a mobile application. You can see here, once you establish Magic Trap in the field, it will send you around 1 photograph per day. On your right hand side, you can see the traps. The algorithm is being tested, it is being improvised. So, in this blue trap, you will be having around 50 columns, and in each column, it is around 2 centimeters of a box. So, this is all about using DPA in management of thrip. Thank you.
So this is the next step, actually bug counting app. Overall, still we are at very early phase. We can capture the images through the mobile, and the insect and pest count will be automatically happen. So this we are getting from support from the global and even APEC team as well. Now I would like to invite Senthil and Dinesh.
Digitalization in agriculture with safety and sustainability to smallholders and overall to ensure our mission of grower success. That is what this protocol. So here this will be my presentation. I will be presenting what we are doing in this project. So before going to update what we are doing in this project, so I just wanted to highlight what are all the work for the last 2.5 years. I thank Mr. Dinesh for the tremendous work he has process he has developed in the last 2.5 years with the support of all other colleagues. Regarding to regulatory, we have applied 2 molecules, approved for 2 molecules, and we have planned ongoing projects, almost 22 out of that, almost 19 are almost of the way, and another 2 to 3 should be initiating by 23. So we are the first agrochemical company to have a DGCA approved drone with our service partner, General Aeronautics. So and we have 23 certified pilots also, and at the same time, so from the technical capability front, the machines are DGCA approved, and at the same time we are collaborating with our in-house capabilities and with academics also. So we are working here. 2 ministries are involved. One is agriculture ministry and another is DGCA. We are adhering both the guidelines of ministries, and we are developing our own internal standards also. And most important, return on investment for that also transaction and accounting process are developed. Our key platform that are needed digital apps also developed, which I will be explaining in my upcoming slides. So this is our working model. We don't have any asset. We are not owning anything. its service providing model, we are aligned with General Aeronautics. So service demand will be generating and service delivery, our partner will take care of that. So and finally, SOP and transaction process will be both by and TA will be ensured. So this is the workflow what we are doing as of last career. So from our side, we will be doing both awareness and demand generation. So we have given 3 options to farmer to look for the service. So one is Buyer Solutions app, second is Airtel for our airports, third is customer call center. So these 3 options we are giving and encouraging farmers to download the Buyer Solution app, and he can book on his phone. Once the farmer requests the service that is integrated with our GA system, so that will goes into GA network, and immediately the pilot will be connecting the farmer, and he will be ensuring whether he has the chemical, and he will be reaching the farmer. Next, he will be marking the field according to the farmer's requirement, and finally service delivery and payment everything. He will, the pilot will collect. Then post service, the pilot will collect the satisfaction feedback also from the farmer. So this is the Buyer Solution app. This is integrated with our service provider, and this is the one dashboard developed in our GA. In this dashboard, we can have our day-to-day activity, all about how many intents raised, how many fields marked, how many fields sprayed, and what is the chemical, every information we can get day-to-day. This dashboard is developed, and this is our working. So this tariff, what we did, we have listed our service in 7 clusters, and we have deployed almost 20 drones and close to 5 acres we have sprayed, and more than 10 FS, and we have increased our capabilities for MD and FS trials, and simultaneously we have conducted feedback survey with farmers to understand their desirability, feasibility and viability, so where it will help to leverage our project in the future. And as of now, in the career we have worked in paddy, cotton and paddy, cotton and soybean. In Rabi, we are extending our service to chili and wheat and potato. This season we have done. So these are the some glimpses. So in Barghat location exclusively, we are working with ALF. We are collaborating with ALF, and we are doing our service with ALF. And we are conducting demos in the all academies like KVKs, Punjab University, wherever possible. We are creating awareness campaign with the scientists also. So a key driver for adoption, labor shortage is keep on increasing. So definitely to drive this technology, labor shortage is going to be a key driver, and along with that, drone offers a high safety, very less time of spraying, and very less amount of water, which is really needed for sustainability. So key challenges as of now, everyone know, none of the farmers almost in India is going for solo product for his crop. So every farmer is going for 2 to 3, and whereas in drone application, as per our guidance, we are going for solo. So that is the as of now biggest challenge we are facing. We are working with efforts and regulatory to overcome this issue. Maybe it will take some time, but we have to work as a buyer, as a leader. We have to give what farmer wants. Definitely, that will be a key driver for this future. Definitely, buyer is a key differentiator with trustworthy end-to-end solution and operational efficiency. And ultimately, farmers are having great confidence with buyer. Even though we are having a lot of priority, so I would like to explain what related most related to here. First of all, before going that, I really thank from on behalf of Dinesh and our entire pro team, I really thank Partha for his active participation for our technical guidance and weekly calls. Really, thank you, Partha. Let me have a great applause. So, yes, in the previous slide also, I have told that what is the source as of now. Yes, thank you. Because even I told almost 450 farmers we have conducted survey. Not in a single farmer told I am going for solo. They have started with 2 and ended with 6. That is the formal practice. And ultimately from marketing side, commercials, we are also promoting the combination. Definitely that is the key requirement to drive this technology in a greater way when we are going into commercial operation. As of now, government has not given permission for herbicide, but it is our requirement. Let us try herbicide trials and let us keep data, because for any reference, even CDB is taking our support. So definitely in that point of time, it will be that type of data generation very helpful. And plantation crops, yes, where labor is the biggest challenge, and even they are ready to move, adopt for the new technology faster than the farmers. They are also, we have planned where the shape is, we have to find a way for this. And regulatory data generation already for those crops, we are not still we can and knowledge sharing, yes, already we are having a good support. So before close, I request a huge support from FS to find a way out for the tank mix. And one more thing, as of now we are using our level change dosage in drone, but farmer dosage different. For example, jam chili 25 gram is there, 40 gram, but whereas farmer is using 100 grams. 100 grams is there, farmer is 200 grams. It is our requirement. We have to serve what farmer wants. So this is with one request. I am thanking you all for the time and opportunity. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
What I thought, I'll just give you a glimpse of what this technology is all about and what one can achieve utilizing this technology based on the experience what we have gathered over the last 3 years and how this product also evolved. So even this I'll not get into details of this. This basically talks about what is the problem today and why we are looking for an alternative form of organization to take care on some of these inefficiencies which contributes to significant amount in terms of wheat yield loss, the poor bioefficacy, the manual practices which has impact on MRLs and whatnot. And very important part is also the when you do this with knapsack spray, the inhalation of pesticide by the operator. So that becomes a major concern. So that's where drone makes a difference. And apart from that, if you see from environment point of view, be it resources, if you talk about soil, the kind of soil contamination which other manual process what it entails. And in terms of water usage, like there is a significant amount of water savings which happens when you use a drone, which is in the tune of 95-96%. If you could go to the next slide. So this was the first prototypes. I think somewhere I saw this picture. So this was our first prototype which we made in year 2019. And this was tested extensively. This was also DGCA certified. And this is the platform which gave us very good data and the direction what we should do towards commercialization. And that's what resulted in Rishabh, what you saw in the previous presentation it was presenting. And this has some of the very unique features in terms of the whole idea was when we looked at Rishabh. One was, of course, that how to make this technology affordable to, even a small farm. And that's where the entire optimization in design could bring down the cost of operation. So just to give you some idea, like typically, the normal drones which are available in the market, like if you need to cover 1 acre, the cost of battery to run 1 acre is about 150 rupees to 200 rupees. Today in Krishan, we have brought it down to 40 rupees per acre. And the next version of Krishan, what is in making, we are bringing it down to single digit. It would be 8 rupees is what it is. So that is something, perhaps nobody in the world has achieved this kind of number, and that's the kind of tech what we bring to the table. That's one element. There are various other features, like typically if you see this class of system, you'll be able to do 1 to 2 acres when you charge one time battery. Here we have made it in a manner that you could go up to perhaps, the kind of dosage what you use, up to 5 acres, but 4 acres is the most common coverage what you can get with a single charger. Another unique feature in this system is it doesn't use the conventional hydraulic nozzle, we use atomizers. And why atomizer is, it gives you control over droplet. Like typically in hydraulic nozzle, you need to change the nozzles if you want different droplet size. And the distribution of droplets won't be as uniform. Whereas here you can pre-program the droplet size. It's a VRT system wherein you can not only change the flow rate, you can pre-program the flow rate, you can even program the droplet size, and you need not really change the nozzle if you want to change the different type of applications. So again, whatever learning I have, like starting from nutrients to herbicide, you have droplets requirement like smallest possible is better, be it for nutrients and pesticide, whereas when you talk about herbicide, you generally prefer larger size. So all this you can program in this. There is no clogging related issues with this kind of nozzle because there are 2 different controls which work on this kind of nozzle, and that's the very reason why we have adopted to this. I'll show you some other, perhaps some pictures are there, I'll show you that. In terms of, one of the problems we face during our first set of trials is typically, especially in the southern belt, what we have seen, the high voltage line is not very uncommon. You will find that over the field you will see this high voltage line. And drones, normal drones generally you can't fly autonomously under high voltage line. The reason is the electromagnetic effect which comes from this high voltage. It interferes with the compass which is there on the drone, and compass gives you heading. So that was a big problem, and many of those fields were getting eliminated, that it was not becoming compatible for this kind of usage. And that's where we removed the compass from the drone. And now what we use is it's a kind of GPS based compass you can see. So these 2 antenna what you see are the 2 GPS systems. These are very high accurate GPS system which basically tells you where you are. So here you have accuracy of about 30 centimeter. So you can basically where you are accurate to 30 centimeter. And these 2 together, it also gives you heading. So there is no question of any interference with any kind of high voltage or any other electromagnetic influence. And with that, now you can fly in any kind of environment. So that's another unique feature in this system. Apart from that, many other learnings what we have in terms of cleaning the drone, washing the drone. So we made it IP65 so that it is easily washable. What we have, or what we rather claim, that this would eliminate overuse of IoT. See, what we understand that whatever the best dosage which is decided or which is approved, it is based on all the AI requirement. But the biggest problem is overuse of agrochemical, because there are various factors which dictates farmer to use or spray. It could be what they hear in a tea shop to what they see on the field. So here the kind of efficiency what we are able to get, and we have done plenty of trials, some of the trials with you as well and other agrochemical companies as well as research organizations, where where we have found the kind of bioefficacy what we get is pretty good. And if you are able to get that kind of numbers, you did not overuse hydrogen. So that's the important element. We have done a lot of experiments also to check MRLs. So it was in fact, I think there's a use case where it was done with cumin crop again with some of your team in Jaisalmer, where the idea was to see that can we control the MRLs, because cumin is one of the most exported crop and also one of the most rejected crop due to MRL issues. So such controls also, we did that test, and the produce was tested in the lab to get the final MRL values. And all this is about the drone element. But you know, what happens to make it viable and to make it cost-effective solutions? Not that drone is the only part of this solution. You need to look at all other elements, especially in Indian condition where you know, the operability becomes a concern, like theft of the drone or many other such features. Even how to track and monitor the operations, what you do. So for that purpose, what we came out with is something called GA Hub, which Sandil also showed a couple of snapshots of that. What GA Hub does is primarily it connects all the stakeholders. It maintains your data security. It also ensures compliance, be it in terms of dosage, in terms of any other regulatory requirement what you may have. You could impose that on the operation and even the SOP part through GA Hub. So that's the idea of GA Hub. So right from farmer booking the services to completing the services, getting the feedback, getting the payment done, getting all the necessary data captured is done through GA Hub. And the idea is, you know, we want to make it as easy to fly as possible. I'm sure if I remember, Priyanka was flying the drone and she must have had the experience how easy it is to fly. But you know what we are also trying to do, idea is perhaps, so the idea there is that if we could get rid of pilot, that would be the best case scenario, because you know, if you see the today cost of operation, the majority of the cost comes from pilot. Now, can any micro entrepreneur or you know, you require of course regulatory clearance for that. Today, the regulation in India doesn't permit that you can fly a drone without a pilot. But come next year, we are coming up with beyond visual line of sight regulations in India, and that will allow you to sit in Bangalore and operate anywhere in India. So that's the idea of remotely operating it, and of course that calls for good amount of reliability, etc., which I'm sure we will establish over time and eventually come to a situation like that. I think I need to change this slide. It has changed here. Yeah. So this is the whole architecture of. Okay. So I think these are different things I see. Yeah. You could go back. You see the same? No, it's still different side. This is another problem why today you can't remotely fly. Yeah. So you know, this is the GA Hub what I mentioned. It has various stakeholders are integrated together by means of, there are 4 web apps which allows you to register a farmer, and the good part is once a farmer is registered and his field is mapped, it is mapped with very high accuracy system, and that remains forever in GA Hub. So the subsequent occasion when you go for any kind of spray, you need not really again map the field unless there is a change in infra, so you could utilize the same. So right from IRIS, which gives you a real-time monitoring of any drone flying anywhere in the world, and also all the software and hardware is protected in the forms of over-the-air update. Tamper proofing is implemented in the enrolling the farmer, all the analytics which is done in Apollo in the form of artificial intelligence or any kind of vision creation of this are done here. And there are various other features which are important to do this operation. So for that matter, Pegasus is for maintaining the complete SOP of the drone on the cloud. And many other features which makes it possible. So Mars is our app for farmer booking, which is in your case replaced by Bear app, where farmer booking is done by your app and the rest of the GA infra is utilized for the operation. So in fact, this entire GA hub is modular in nature. You could have any of your services which are available with you integrated to this, and the rest of it would work. And apart from again drone plus GA hub, our offering just doesn't stop there. One of the key elements we found while optimizing the cost of operation, which I said was the key element, is the cost of carrying the drone from field A to field B. That was becoming in fact one of the major cost factor, contributing up to 33% of the per acre cost. So that's where we came up with electric vehicle, and this of course adds to the zero carbon footprint angle as well. But this EV, on one hand, it reduces the cost of per kilometer traveled from say 20 rupees to something like less than 1 rupee. But more importantly, I would say this is a custom EV what we are bringing to operation, which has not yet gone to your operation. Is this EV is capable of charging the drone batteries? So that becomes a very important feature when we talk about rural operation. Because our experience was getting a charging point becomes very difficult in this kind of scenario. So that's the whole solution, and what I was talking about, today what so today what we use is lithium-ion battery, which has brought down the cost from 200 to 40 rupees battery cost per acre, and now we are switching to ultra capacitors, which should bring it down to single digit. And once ultra capacitor has two other major benefits. One is the cost comes down. This, if you compare the life, this has life of about 600 to 750 cycles. Ultra capacitor makes it around 10,000. So you have multiple numbers. Another important feature is it can be charged within 10 minutes, unlike almost an hour what other battery takes. So when you have just a 10 minutes charging system, you can manage entire day's operation just with two batteries. So thereby your initial cost comes down and it becomes operationally much more effective. So we have done a lot of trials with you and many other research organizations in India, 13 states. I think now we have more than 100 agrochemicals over 28 crops, and all this data was used to devise the SOP what we are using today. This is some of the snapshot of spray in chili application, where you can see the kind of coverage we get. In fact, here we had also used what is called adjuvants in the agrochemical to make the spread better. The important thing to notice is it's not that the upper part of the leaf which gets covered properly. Look at the underside of the leaf, stem, everything gets covered, and that's what gives you much better, control over pest. So this is the kind of bioefficacy data what we could get based on this common method, and you can see something for whitefly, we are 5 times better than best of the manual spray which was done by some of the ICR labs. This was yield data which we carried out to see how best it can improve yield. This was the MRL for human trials what I was talking about. So that was all about doing a blanket spray, but in future perhaps with VRT you may want to do more precision type of spray, and that's where the first level of precision where you can detect where the problems are in the field, and this is that you can plan your mission. So you need not do uniform spray throughout. Whatever your agrochemical permitting, because what I learned, you have some min and max limit as well, and within that you can do the variable application. And moving further ahead, wherein you go into detecting the exact pest and disease, And basis that, once you detect, then you plan your mission accordingly, and perhaps it is more applicable for horticulture crop today, wherein you can detect it and then you spray only where it is there. I'm sure that slide is there. Okay, that's not there. But another important thing is this entire operation is done, all in a sustainable manner, right from, if you start from the higher yield, which contributes to zero hunger, improving soil quality, optimum usage of pesticide, and going up to zero carbon footprint, and finally putting more money in farmers. I think that's it I have. Thank you very much for your attention. Have any question, please? Yes.
From what you suggest here, and what the process if someone as a farmer wanted to buy and wanted to do these operations privately?
You mean cost of drone buying?
Yeah.
It depends on the buying cost. But in terms of operation cost, perhaps today it has a potential to bring it close to 400 rupees per acre, and eventually our target is to bring it down to 250 to 300 rupees per acre.
Is there any regulation required to buy it and do it privately and by the farmers and their own?
Not really. So there are clearly defined guidelines how one can buy. There are process through which we buy automobile. Similar way, drone will get registered to one individual's name. Of course, to fly the drone legally today, you need to have DGCA certification, which mandates that 10th pass. The person who flies the drone must be 10th pass. So once you have that DGCA certification and you can buy this drone legally, then you are allowed to fly. There is no further requirement unless you fly in zones which are restricted. So entire India, I don't know if you are aware, is divided into red, yellow and green zones. In green zones today you don't require any permission. So today GA app, when you open to fly the drone, it will tell you which zone you are in. So if you are in green zone, you need not worry about it at all. And you don't require any further permission. Whereas if it is yellow zone, you need to inform the local ATC and get the permission. If it is red zone, you are not allowed to fly.
Yeah.
Abhishek, one more. Thanks, Abhishek. That was real insightful. Actually, the second part you have mentioned, the identifying the best and going up distance rate. So we were discussing the team. So how we are where we are, how accurate we are. Are we started doing? If yes, then how accurate?
So what I showed you was the entire thing what we developed along with ICR, CBCRI. It was a project funded by Coconut Development Board for coconut plantation. And there for forgetting the rhinoceros beetle and I think another disease, root wilt. So for that we could get about 92% accuracy of detection. See, once detection is done, the rest of it becomes much easier. So today we have the entire software chain or the operation chain established, wherein right from getting the data, where you collect the data, train the artificial intelligence model, basis the data what you get, now you can plan the mission in a manner that it will go and spray only where it is needed. So that part is available, but the biggest bottleneck here is the data. So for coconut, it took us 2 years just to generate data, because ICR when we are starting they have a lot of data available with them, but we found there was literally nothing. And we had to, at coconut being, unlike other field crop, you can perhaps inoculate the disease and get certain signature. In coconut, it has to be opportunistic. So there it became all the more difficult. So that's the bottleneck. Once you have that data, rest of it is today pretty straightforward.
Thanks, sir.
Actually, one my direct question regarding the batteries. Actually, it was from my past experience. What I observed is that you earlier mentioning that with 2 batteries having within 10 minutes you can charge, but most of the times you will be flying the drones in the farmer fields. Field will be one side, village will be another side. So even if you go to the village, power may be there or may not be there. So in that case, maybe not my suggestion. It's maybe the idea is can we increase the capacity of the battery. So wherein with a single battery we can increase the more acreage, and even it can be suitable ideally for the trials as well. So, what's your comment?
No, precisely. So what we have done for that is what I showed. The 2 parts to it. One is I showed you the present battery which allows you 4 to 5 acres with single charge. So that's the maximum today you can get anywhere in the world. So we have tried to optimize that. The second element, rightly you said that it's difficult to get the power connection to charge the battery. That's where EV comes into the picture. And EV allows you today to charge this battery at least 5 times. So then you are not dependent on any external infrastructure. Of course, still it's not, it's easier said than done, because at times you have to walk down 200, 300 meters into the field, and though you have a power bank available at EV, but that is 200, 300 meters away. So that's where today we are carrying 3 batteries. So that you can, in between, once the one sortie is done, you charge the battery, and meanwhile you have, say, about an hour's time to run the operation. So that's the ConOps what we have in mind. With the new set of batteries, we won't be able to do 4 acres, we'll do 2 to 3 acres per sortie, but it can be charged very fast. So that's where when you are doing one flight, and once you come back, you can put that battery on charge and go for next flight. By the time you complete next, you are ready with the first battery charge. So that's how we are managing as of now.
Any question from online audience? Aki?
Yep. Thank you very much for very interesting information, and also, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Very interesting information, and also, I think the technology is developing day by day, and also the batteries, everything becomes also very modernized. And I think the scaling up, for example, currently we are going like China, if we see China, there's 2 directions. One direction is large scale farm with high payload and but bigger battery, spray volume. Another side is more small machine, more portable, and then it's very easy to transport. How do you think in consideration with Indian market, which direction you are going to, or you are targeting both sides?
So if I understand right, your question was that there are higher payload, the drones which are going with higher payload, and then you see other side where smaller payload drones are also available. So your question was which direction we feel it should go. Is that what your question was?
Exactly. Yes, you're right.
Perfect. So I think there is like no single answer for this. It's primarily based on the kind of market we are trying to address. So it is always the best case for a drone to do an operation where you get the best efficiency is where the entire tank gets emptied in that particular operation, and you have it's like to go to the field you need to travel certain distance, and those extra mission times are minimized. So that way the best will always be that if I have a drone which can do with a single tank 2 acres, I would prefer to have a 2 acre a battery capacity or payload which caters to that 2 acre. Whereas if we talk about something like vegetable farmers in India, where what we have seen the average land holding is perhaps not even 1 acre, it's about half an acre or so. There, a smaller system would make much more sense, not only from the efficiency-wise, but also the ease of carrying a drone and all these factors, which will overall contribute in terms of optimizing the price. So, I think it is, to me, it is from the requirement which comes from the field, what kind of market you are addressing, and that will dictate the size of the drone.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think fully agree with you. Actually, the loading or changing of the battery, changing of the tank, this time is actually takes a lot. Rather suitable system for the small farm, or maybe the suitable system for the large farmer, or maybe by use of the several drones together. This could be the solution. And we cannot underestimate this time to change the tank and also change the battery, transportation of the drone as well. Thank you very much for your comment.
Thank you.
Hello, thanks Abhishek for your nice overview on drone advancement technology. So we clearly understand that your team is developing on the spraying technology based on the disease or pest incidents. So my question is related to crop canopy actually. So basically I am talking about the mango orchards. So where planting itself is not at a flat land, it's around elevations. That's the one issue. Another issue is even though it is on elevation, the canopy of each plant is not uniform. So are we developing or are we thinking in that direction to manipulate those?
Absolutely. The solution what you saw today is best suited for field crops, where you are doing more like a blanket screen. Ideally for horticulture crop, where one is you talked about elevation related issues. There could be issues, not issues as such, the nature of farm is such where between say 2 trees you will have good amount of gap, right? So, and the canopy size also differs. Now, to do the spray optimally, the best way to do this would be first do a mapping, where you get all this information captured, use that information, then to plan the mission. So, the reason for that is, one is that you want to cover the canopy in the right manner, so you may have to devise a mode for the drone to cover the canopy in the right fashion, and not to spray in the area where you don't have any crop. So that would be the way forward for that. We are already working on it. And even for city gardens where you have this kind of elevation. So the kind of, we have already some sensors which can take care of certain elevation. But we are trying to take care of, we have done some trials up to 40-50% type of slope scenarios. We did it recently in Wayanad just to check that for tea gardens. And there you require a different kind of sensors so that you are able to do the mission optimally in an efficient manner. So yes, all these are possible. There are clear ways identified to do that, and we are trying to achieve it.
Maybe. So, this is so you and your pilot team actually support to conduct some our in-house trials. While conducting trials, I have gone through a few problems actually. One thing is GPS shifting. In your earlier presentation, you are sharing that with recent upgradation, you will be giving like 230, up to 230 centimeter accuracy. And in my trial, what I understood with the automation, while they are doing the mapping, and at the time of spraying, there is 50% case shifting they are observed. Second thing, at the time of the spraying, when they are going to initiate,
during the first 10 seconds there is a loss of slurring, loss of chemical volume during the first 10 seconds.
Okay.
So, do you going to address this issue going forward or how?
No, absolutely. So, GPS, in fact, the two system I showed you, our first platform and the new one. In the older version, what we had is conventional GPS system, which are commonly available in drone, which gives you accuracy in the tune of 2 to 8 meters. So there, of course, we had all these problems, and that's where this new system we have brought in, where you get accuracy of about 30 centimeters, which is good enough for a majority of the fields what we have done, and you need not put too much of margin on the boundaries or near obstacle. That's number one. Number two, on the nozzle side, what we are trying to bring in is some kind of fail-safe option. What happens when you have multiple nozzles, and if one of these nozzles are not working, and when the drone is say 50 meter or 100 meter away from you, you won't be able to figure out whether all the nozzles are spraying or not. So now system will detect on its own whether there is any nozzles are malfunctioning depending on certain parameter which is being monitored in the system. And if it detects that any of the nozzles are blocked or malfunctioning, it will stop this spray, record the location and come back. Once it is rectified, you can start from same point. So that's what we are trying to do.
Actually, my point was something different. When they will give the automation, in the automation spray, at the time of starting, when the drone will start the application, during the first 10 seconds, there is a wastage of chemistry. That's what I am telling. Yeah. So, I am going to address.
So, that's a parameter which can always be tuned. It is like, I'll tell you what happens is the drone takes off from, could be some point. Then it comes to the starting point where it is supposed to start this way. Then nozzle starts and then it moves forward. So this hovering point where just the nozzle starts, today perhaps I'm not too sure what we use today, but it would be in the tune of 5 to 10 seconds. So to that extent there could be some loss, but this parameter can always be tuned, depending on what you feel is the ideal number. Sorry, I didn't understand your question. Thanks.
Okay, thank you everyone. I know people have a lot of questions on drone technology, but yesterday what we saw, it was a quite smooth landing and takeoff actually. And the technology is evolving actually. I think in future you may not face such kind of problems. So for this I would like to thank all the drone task force team and even Abhishek also, who have shared their perspective that how the technology is evolving, and even whatever the pain points of the farmers are there, we are working toward addressing all the pain points. So thank you everyone, and now I would like to invite Ben and Srinath for the closing remarks.
Side of the conference room is high on adrenaline, looks like, and they are disturbing us. It's a bit embarrassing, but I think we have taken care. Tomorrow onwards it will not be there for us. So the day one looks like has been concluded successfully, and I hope you would agree to that. We had a great start. But before we close the day, I think it will be good if we can hear from the esteemed guests in the audience on what they felt and what they perceived about the day one. So before coming to Srinath Jain Sahab, I don't know, he is belovedly, respectfully called as Jain Sahab right from lead to every employee of the company, and I cannot escape that rule for sure. So I mean, one full day from you is definitely an investment for us. So your initial remarks on what you observed today from the conference.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you everyone for giving this opportunity, learning opportunity for me. And my objective of coming here is very clear. One is to learn more about the pipeline, about the future products, how the existing products and things are happening. And second, I am selfish that looking for certain things, how we can build the alternate channel strategy, where we can develop some of the new solutions for our smallholder farmers. which can be offered through a alternate channel strategy. So that is the objective overall, and that's why the question was on Council Prime, and I had some discussions with Selinath and Mayank with you also, like the way we discussed during the cross-functional meeting, we will take it forward that how we can bring more value. Coming to today's session, I will say a lot of efforts has been done by the team in terms of bringing lot of knowledge, lot of efforts which they have done in a very crisp and very summarized form. So I really loved it, and the another part I loved it, that involvement of the every team member. So that was also really good. Maybe just to present one trial summary, but it's good that everybody is being given the opportunity to present and to speak about the work what he or she has done. So lot of excitement. Unfortunately, I will miss next 2 days because I have a couple of other engagements. But definitely look forward for more say interactions with field solutions team. And please keep me invited and involved wherever you feel that I can learn something or I can add value a little bit together. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
In fact, Arun and Leelu were also there most of the time, so thanks for their presence also. Okay, we started the day with your expectations. Now, looking at the day one, I know you attended these conferences previously also, but today you are wearing a different hat. Now, how do you see the day one for us? And I know you are also going to leave tomorrow, so probably good to hear from that aspect as well.
Honestly, I must confess that I am not sat to the day of results meeting for the last 5 days. I was before I did attend, but this 5 years, this is the first day where I sat for the day. So, I was not fatigued. There are some aspects about the results meeting that I would like to discuss first with the mind. Look at how we can. Again, I'm saying I would like to challenge this meeting. I don't want to rest how we are doing it, but I must say the enthusiasm in the room was great. You were standing here the entire day. I don't know how anybody can retain the passion and enthusiasm for the entire day talking about the products, and that comes from within. It is not artificial, it cannot be artificial. And I also agree with Chahal that not only were you talking about it, you were getting people involved to come speak a couple of words, at least because it is fulfilling for people who have done the trials to come onto the stage and say what's about what they do. So that also, I believe it's a good format, and I appreciate all the people who have done this excellent work. Some of the trials to me were confusing, admitted, and I could not find a conclusion to that. That's the nature of it. That's why we are here, that's why we get paid. So we have to decipher the complexity and bring a solution which is simple and understandable. Like somebody from MD asked this question. I had the same question. What is the... But it is okay. We are still 3-4 years away. We can sit together. The data is there. We can sit together and find a way forward with the simple. And I can only imagine if this is already complex, when you started, how more complex would have been. Right? So that's a fair progress. Great. And only appreciate each and everybody for the passion, enthusiasm. There's one thing, however, which in the end I am determined that you are all scientists. When the trials were going on, there were no questions. When the drone topic came, everybody wanted to ask a question. You want to do new things, you want to ask questions, you want to grow. And my request to you is bring this element into your trials. How can you do it new? How can you introduce new experiment with the regular trial success more interesting, so that more people get engaged, more people ask questions to why. So all said and done at the end, and I have to thank you a lot. I have questions for you, by the way, because I was opening my own presentation, and according to me, you have to run a minimum of 500 hours per hour per year to break even if you are calculating the amortization in 3 years. I wanted to ask you how many hours are you running today, per day, and how many acres are you covering per day. So it's an interesting topic, it's a fascinating topic, and thanks a lot that share with us the global development, the India development in the past, because 2018 or 17, when we looked at this project, I had no confidence that Indians can pick up and then challenge the Chinese infrastructure. Congratulations, thanks a lot. And I'm very happy that we are early collaborating with you, your company, on take this fascinating course. So the MBA will also highlight that we hear from the process. What is that? So overall, thanks a lot. Thank you very much. I too will not be there tomorrow and day after. And unfortunately, I can also not connect online to listen to the rest and this is, but it's okay. I can pick up the highlights. How was project? Yes. So thanks a lot. Thank you very much, and thanks for the wonderful day.
My only add-on is, when the project discussions were happening, there were a couple of questions or a couple of actions which will be required to be followed up. And my request to Karan as well as Pradeep is to ensure those follow-ups happen. Okay. Abhishek and Srinath are going to join us for dinner, and I'm sure you will have more chances to interact with them. There is a change in logistics, so because of the high energy meeting going on, we won't be meeting here. And so you want to come and guide us on what's the new logistic for the rest of the day before we break. But yes, people joining on Teams, thank you so much for the patience. Close to 7-8 hours on Teams. I hope you enjoyed the conversations, and we are closing the day once, so please decide to move on as per your agenda. Thank you so much. So can you guide us for the rest of the
Okay, thanks, Mike. So actually we are planning for our dinner in a Neo kitchen, just near, yes, it's towards outside from this lobby. So we will assemble there, or we will meet at 7:30 onwards. Okay? Neo kitchen in the same building. Neo, N-E-O, in the same building. Now, so we can see while we are returning back to our little garden, we can see Neo kitchen in right hand side.